fucking stressed out. This looks bad.
Yeah, because they were saying, dude, we got witnesses already saying that you were hitting the guardrails and stuff back there.
I drank the alcohol after I crashed.
I know, but we got witnesses saying otherwise.
Well, here's the thing. I drank after I crashed.
Where's the vodka bottle that you were drinking? Is it up there?
Vodka.
What? You said you chugged vodka after the crash.
I don't know. I'm on the side of the road. I guarantee I ain't cheap after this.
He continues to ignore the fact or admit the fact he's intoxicated. Oh, I went around that corner a little too fast. No, you shouldn't have been behind the wheel of a vehicle.
Keep in mind his 10-year-old daughter was in the back seat of that car when he crashed.
Trying to get to where I wanna be. Watch me ride this frequency. Hey, hey, trying to get to where I wanna go. Watch me catch this flow. Hey, trying to get to where I wanna be. Watch me ride this frequency.
Surveillance video involving an Oilton police officer is causing some controversy. It shows the officer shove a homeowner when he tried to get that officer off his property. We found out the officer resigned at last night's city council meeting. 2 News Oklahoma senior reporter Justin Ayer explains what led up to the altercation.
You're on my place. Get the hell out of here now.
All right. You need to step back.
You understand that?
You need to step back.
Get the hell out of here now. You're on my place.
Okay.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So this original story was back in March. A lot of channels covered it. But this is in my backyard. And because there was a second part to this story that revealed a little bit of corruption, I wanted to go ahead and do a full cap on it. Now, this was the second part to this was the work done by Guerrilla Publishing on YouTube, and they're an investigative team, cop watchers, usually going after government officials, so on and so forth. I would not label them so much as frauditors. Even though they're YouTube journalists, they have a little different tactics than, say, like DMA or, Anselmo and some of those idiots. I mean, they actually do pretty damn good investigative work, I have to admit. So we owe them a little bit of credit for revealing this and having the nose to sniff it out, and taking the time to go to all the legwork and trouble to get the FOIA requests and to put all the pieces together. And you'll see as this goes. So anyway, I'll put a link to their channel in the description, also thanking them for their contribution on this. All right, so Oilton, Oklahoma. It's only about 40 minutes away from where I'm at. Very much familiar with it. That's why I wanted to cover it. It's in my backyard, so let's get on with it.
The events between the homeowner and the sergeant have stirred up a lot of controversy here in Oilton, to say the least, and in some cases, fear. Take a look at this sign in front of City Hall. It says it's closed to the public until further notice for the safety of its employees. I called the city clerk and she tells me that some city leaders have received voicemails from people in a threatening way who, to say the least, are unhappy with what went down. The man doing the shoving, according to Oilton Police, is Sergeant Beers. And this man, trying to get Sergeant Beers off his property, is longtime Oilton resident and veteran William Walbridge. Police say Walbridge was interfering with an investigation.
Right now, you're going to be the one that's going to be the one that loses, okay? So you need to step back, okay?
I won't be the one. Hey, I ain't stepping back from nothing.
You need to step back.
Son, I'll take your damn head off.
Okay. You need to step back.
I ain't stepping back. You're on my
907
place.
County.
You're on my place. Get the hell out of here now.
All right. You need to step back.
You understand that?
You need to step back.
Get the hell out of here now. You're on my place.
Okay.
You interrupted.
Do we want to go this way?
Do you want to go this way?
I was making contact with somebody
Go
that
ahead,
was
put your
soliciting,
hands
and I
on
have
me.
a
Watch me.
another suspect here that's starting to get irate. I'm probably gonna have to go hands on. All right, keep your hands out of your pockets.
No, you're on my place. I
I'm
ain't getting my hands out of nothing.
let me explain something to you, okay? I'm dealing with something totally different, okay? Whether it's in the county or not in the county, it started in the city, okay? That's where we are. I'm going to be straight to the
Did you
point.
ask my permission?
I do
when
not
you
have to
come
have
on
your
my
permission.
place? You damn sure
I do not.
This is my
I'm going to
place.
tell you one more time to step back, okay?
This is my place.
Step back.
I'm not stepping back. You get the hell in your truck and get out here now.
Do you guys know him? You guys want to come try to talk to him before he goes in? What was that? Well, I'm dealing with another issue, so.
You fixing to
All right.
deal with an issue.
All right. Turn around, place your hands behind your back. Turn around and place your
You
hands.
put your hands in mine.
Turn around.
I'm taking your head off. Now, you understand that, son?
907 County, can you see me a drum right unit? Turn around, place your hands behind your back.
No.
Turn around and place your hands behind your
Get
back.
the hell off my place.
Turn around. Stay in that car.
Get the hell off my place.
Turn around and place your hands behind your back.
You
That is a
ain't done
lawful
nothing.
order.
You put your hands on me.
Turn around.
And I'm taking your head off. You understand that, son?
Turn around. Place your hands behind your back. Turn around. Yep. Turn around. Place your hands behind your back.
I'm not doing it.
907 County got one fighting. Turn around. Place your hands behind your back. Yeah. Well, your husband does not want to listen. All right, listen. I'm going to turn you around. We're going to cuff you up.
You got a lot of cuffing me.
Go ahead. Turn around. Guys, can I have one of you guys assist me? Just make sure this other guy that's back here doesn't come back behind me.
Judy, get my nitro.
You need your nitro? Hey, he needs nitro. They're coming. You need your nitro?
907 1090.
91. Go ahead and start me medical. Hey, stay with me, okay? I'm gonna roll you back this way. I'm gonna roll you back this way. Hey, go get that. Tell him to grab his nitro. Bring it, bring it, bring it. I know. You know how it goes?
I don't
Oilton 907 1090.
Willard, tell me,
91.
you got a pen?
Start me medical.
Yeah, okay.
Here.
Totally uncalled for.
God. Hold that. Here. Why do they put this car? How many? One or two? Do you know? Just drop under. It goes under. Under. Close.
There's one, Willard. Another one? Very good.
Easily preventable. Really, all that cop had to do was just step away. The car was parked in the driveway. The people he wanted to talk to, he could have asked them to step out. He could have spoke to him out of his truck or out of, in the road there. I think he was just a little butthurt that this guy was, basically saying, screw with me, buddy, and I'm going to screw with you back. Now, can't blame the old guy. Cop was kind of in the right, but no reason for him to take it there. No reason at all. Yeah, inevitably it ended up not being a good thing for him at all, and he should have been a little more in the process of de-escalating instead of taking it to that point. Pretty much plain and simple. All right, let's get back to this story.
I'm gonna put this. It's your pill. It's your nitro. Your nitro, okay? Put it in your mouth. Your nitro. Hey, yeah. Well, he's looking for you guys.
Yes, sir.
I just can't have you over here threatening me and telling me.
Okay, give me the pill. Give me the pill.
He's got to go in his.
I know. Willard,
Willard, in your mouth, okay?
Here.
We put one.
You do.
You got it?
Put one.
You do.
Yeah.
That's your two. That's number two.
You do.
Sorry, I can't do nothing. I'm just totally helpless. Sorry. That's okay. Thank you.
Willard.
Off and let him calm down. Okay. Maybe it'll help. I ain't been disrespectful.
No, you're
Back
good.
off and let him be.
Will you sit down here?
He's got problems. He doesn't need any more.
I'm not trying to give him any more. I wasn't trying to get it to this
Back
point.
off and talk over there for a minute, please.
I'm gonna need you guys to stay here for a minute. They'll probably need a statement from you. Okay.
What is the deal that you're here? I don't get it.
So, somebody called in saying that there were solicitors going around.
So?
They gave this vehicle.
Okay.
So I made contact with these guys.
Okay.
It happened in the city. And your husband, is this your husband?
Yes.
Came up, basically told me to get the f*** off his property. This is county property. Started threatening me.
Private property for talking to
Does it-
somebody? Is
does it-
okay, isn't it?
Well, there's an incident that happened prior to that. So take it in this concept. If these guys murdered somebody in the city, and then they came over here and were talking to you, would we not come here and apprehend them?
I don't know what you do.
Oh, come on, Sergeant. That's a horrible analogy. Yeah, use something that drastic to compare to some solicitors that are hustling solar panels. And good for them for out there hustling solar panels. We ought to have more solar panels. They become more affordable. Everybody ought to have a solar panel. They ought to make it standard on when you build a house. It ought to be code. If you get a driveway, you get a solar panel on your house, or a few. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty. She's having none of it, though. She absolutely having none of it. And, of course, it doesn't turn out good for Sergeant Beers no matter what. And I think he's probably sensing that a little bit now, asking the solicitors to stick around to make a statement or to fill out a statement. I'm sure they're going to be a little bit biased toward this guy since they're kind of the reason the Sergeant Beers showed up there in the first place. Statement. Yeah. Well, not going to work out too good for him. Anyway, back to it.
No, 7 County. Good. Gonna be on Westwood. It's gonna be between West 3rd and West Main.
Okay. Confronting County between 45 and picture and capture level.
Yeah, there you go.
907 County. How far out is my ambulance?
Okay, stand by.
Which one is he? Oh, he's on the phone. I couldn't see the phone.
I'm saying, it's 7.
What's clear? Hey, it's Sergeant Beers. Hello? Hold on. Can you hear me now? It's Sergeant Beers. Who's this? Is this your grandfather? Man. Dude, I wish it wouldn't have got to this point. So, this is how it took place. I was at the PD. I got a call. There were some solicitors, 2 guys and a female driving around. It's en route. It's almost here.
Between West 3rd and West Main.
And so I drove around looking for it. They told me it was a maroonish color looking car with Michigan tag. And I get out. I start talking to them. And then he comes up and starts getting in my face. I told him to back up multiple times. It changed from me dealing with them to dealing with him, and he just kept coming at me, to the point where I sidestepped and just pushed him down to the ground. That's where we ended up right here. So he he said I need nitro. So I said, I hollered at, I guess this is your grandmother. I hollered at your grandmother, hey, it's nitro. At the point that he said that, then he kind of stopped fighting and everything. Yeah, I mean, like, he was like grabbing me by my throat, trying to like pull my stuff off my vest and everything. I mean, it's all on body cam. So. Oh, 100%. I mean, by all means, I'm certified. I'm not. You actually stopped me the other day. Yeah. So, I mean, this is. This is my first one where I've encountered it like this, where someone's. Does he have heart conditions?
No, you dumbass. He takes nitroglycerin for recreation.
So I have an ambulance en route.
God.
I called for drum right before it got to this point. Just trying to get somebody else up here so it didn't get to this point. So, you want my cell? Okay. Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. Bye. Is he subconscious? Done right there again. County. How far outside the ambulance? We're like 20 miles between each. And you can leave your car. I'm going to pull my car back so you can get in here. You know, just leave yours there. It's right there on that post. We just a little hot-headed. And it should have had to get to this point. Just hang tight for him. Did you get your phone, man? Okay. Yes, they're on 99 still. Hang on one second. This Pierce. West, if you do, what's your address? 5344. Turn that. 5344 Westwood. Thank you. Beers, Sergeant Beers. Yes, ma'am. My badge is 907. Huh? Okay. Yeah, let me deal with this. I'm out with Devin's grandfather. I have everything on body cam, so it's all there. But there were some solicitors. Somebody called the office. I was in the PD, and came out. They said it's a ruinous looking car with Michigan plates. Came down Westwood, so I was in his driveway. He is, yes. But I was dealing with him. So, city resident called on them. They have another female. Go ahead.
Sir, you don't need drum right to the stick.
Negative.
Okay.
So it's in the PD, doing paperwork. Call comes through. I miss the call. I call right back. They say, you know, hey, this is so-and-so. I can't remember the name. I have to look at my call ID. There's some solicitors down on 6th. Isn't there an ordinance for it? So I didn't really know for sure. I looked it up. Found that there was an ordinance. Made contact with a female right there at 6th and right there where all those jumped out houses are. Where was that? What's that? Can you hear me now? So made contact with a female off 6th Street, right there where those jumped out houses are. That one burned down. So the female was there. I got her information. She told me what the other two males were driving. So I came back this way, found this car. It's here. I saw the two gentlemen there, so I went to make contact with them. Made contact with them. We were fixing to leave. I was going to have them go back with me over to where she was, so I could explain, you know, the city ordinance to all three of them at one time. And I didn't know his name. He came, get up in my face. So you know, got the right to be here. This is county property, and I said I understand it's county property. Yes. So I explained to him that, you know, we have an issue that happened inside the city that I was dealing with, and that I have to deal with that. And then I'll talk to him. Give me 1 second, ma'am.
I'm taking your head off. You understand that, son?
A confrontation turned physical between an Oilton police sergeant and a 77-year-old veteran. Fox 23's Jenna James went to Oilton today. That's about a 45-minute drive west of Tulsa in Creek County. She found out why that commotion captured on police body camera is causing neighbors to take action.
Oilton Chief of Police Carl Stout says that the sergeant who had a scuffle with a homeowner just outside of city limits acted according to his training, but people in town say they want that sergeant out.
Turn around and place your hands behind your back. That is a lawful order. You put your hands on me. Turn around. I'm taking your head off. You understand that, son?
On March 9th, what started as an unrelated police call to ticket solicitors without a city permit ended up with veteran Willard Walbridge on a stretcher. Police say Walbridge started obstructing their investigation, threatening Sergeant Joe Beers, and then kicking him. The two go to the ground. Then the encounter becomes a medical emergency.
You need your nitro? No, 1794. 91. Go ahead and start with medical. Hey, stay with me, okay? I'm gonna roll you back this way.
Oilton Police Chief Carl Stout says Walbridge is expected to be okay, that it's unfortunate how things went down, but the sergeant did what he was supposed to do with someone not complying with orders.
The report's been turned over to the DA's office, and OSBI has been contacted as well for them to follow up on this for better clarification and make sure everything's done fairly for both sides.
What made you all want to post that body cam video?
To get the side of the story for the PD, to de-escalate any conversations being put out there with what was being said.
Tony Hall has lived in Oilton 25 years. He's one of thousands who watched the viral video.
You don't have to body slam any 77-year-old man. Small town, we don't tolerate police brutality. That brutality on anybody in our city. And the police department seems to be backing this, and that's wrong.
What do you want to see happen with this?
The officer gone.
He's starting a petition and urging his neighbors to take action.
We want to take our town back.
In Oilton, covering news that matters, Jenna James, Fox 23 News.
Oilton police say that the homeowner, Willard Walbridge, was not arrested or placed in handcuffs. The sergeant remains on regular duty.
All right, so yeah, you know that's why they shut down City Hall was because the call flooding took place, and you can thank the Prouder channels for doing that. That's one of their favorite tactics. But here's another layer to the story. This is Ron Durbin. He's a local attorney in Tulsa. Ron has been in the news lately, to say the least. I'm familiar with Ron. I mean, know a little bit about him. He is going to be part of the story, and he is responsible for revealing what we're about to see revealed. And he has a company called Guerrilla Publishing. I believe that currently his license to practice law is suspended, I believe, right at the moment. I know that he's fighting that. It's kind of, it's kind of frauder related. He had, well, I'll let the news story speak for itself, and then we'll talk about it some more. But Ron is responsible for putting the final touches on this corruption in Oilton, and he did the legwork on it, so he deserves the credit for it. But let's get into it, and then we'll talk about it further. Oh yeah, hit that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff for me, would you? Thanks.
Caught on camera, a Tulsa attorney at the center of a confrontation with sheriff's deputies today. 2 News was just outside the Tulsa County Courthouse to see Ronald Durbin speak to supporters and announce a run for Tulsa mayor. When Durbin tried to go inside for a hearing, things took a turn and deputies arrested him. The entire thing caught on camera. 2 News Oklahoma's Samson Tamajani shows us how the events unfolded.
A dramatic turn of events outside the Tulsa County Courthouse as deputies tried to take attorney Ron Durbin into custody. We told you Tuesday Durbin was charged with assault and battery on a security guard in April. That altercation was at the same courthouse where he was arrested Wednesday morning.
Why did they do this? Why did they do this? Why did they do this?
Durbin says he tried to turn himself in but was turned away on Tuesday night. Then he planned to appear at a 9:45 hearing on his lawsuit against the City of Tulsa and Mayor G.T. Bynum.
What this all was is a ploy to arrest me in front of Judge Pretty, who I've embarrassed and I currently have in front of the Oklahoma Supreme Court. And this is all a ploy by Mayor G.T., which equals Weak T Bynum, to try to shut me up, along with other members of the City Council.
Before the scuffle, Durbin also took aim at the Oklahoma Bar Association and other local leaders.
We're not going to hold anything back anymore.
Then he made his own announcement.
I'm here today to now officially announce that I am throwing my hat into the ring for mayor of the City of Tulsa. I'll be filing.
After that, things took a turn.
Mr. Durbin can go. Yes, sir. Everybody else will stay out.
We can't go in?
Go ahead, Mr. Durbin. I'll stay out here then.
Here's what we saw from inside. One of his supporters then called an ambulance. Witnesses we spoke with afterward didn't want to give us their full names. One who didn't want to go on camera says that Durbin is dishonest and probably faked much of his pain. Others ID'd themselves as supporters of Durbin who feel that he was brutalized for no reason.
Dude, we're talking about a professional attorney that has a spot on Greenwood and Archer or whatever over there. Like, he's living well. If they just said, hey, we got to arrest you, he would have said, hey, no problem. That was the plan for today anyway.
It was like you would have thought the president had come out and somebody touched him and everybody just went in. It happened so quick.
Wednesday afternoon, the sheriff's office told us that they have reviewed video and reports from the morning's incident. They told us they believe that, quote, our deputies acted appropriately and within state law and our own procedures during the arrest. In Tulsa, Samson Tamajani, 2 News, Oklahoma.
So we went out to Oilton, Oklahoma, because a veteran was shown on the news as being assaulted by an officer out there on his own property. And I wasn't able to serve, but I've always had a passion for those who have. And most of my friends are veterans, and in fact, all of my close friends are veterans. And it really touched me when I see this veteran being assaulted on his own property by a police officer who has no reason to be there other than he's going to check on some guys who are selling solar panels door to door.
Right now, you're gonna be the one that's gonna be the one that loses, okay? So you need to step back, okay?
I won't be the one. Hey, I ain't stepping back from nothing.
You need to step back.
You're on my
907
place.
County. Turn around and place your hands behind your back.
You
That is a
ain't done
lawful
nothing.
order.
You put your hands on me.
Turn around.
And I'm taking your head off. You understand that, son?
Now look, I hate a door-to-door salesman as much as the next person, but there's a level that you go to try to get them out of your town, and you probably shouldn't go onto the property of a 76-year-old man who's wearing his Vietnam veteran cap, who's telling you he doesn't want you on his property. It was an easy way and an easy problem to solve.
I need the body cam footage from the arrest of Willard Walbridge, the elderly man.
Okay.
And then I also need a couple of other things.
Okay.
Thank you kindly.
Upon going out to Oilton, I first walked into the city offices there. The downtown is a ghost town for the most part of closed businesses, and it wasn't really hard to find. And as I walked into the town hall or the city hall, the city clerk was there, and this was all recorded. You can watch it for yourselves. We walked in and we asked for records related to Officer Beers, who had put his hands on the veteran.
All incidents reported is trying to get through our attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can contact him, and he can get you the information you need.
No, it's our open record. There's no reason to contact his attorney.
She did not want to give those, mentioned that they'd hired an attorney. She gets him on the phone. She doesn't know what to do. Ultimately, she ends up calling the police department at my request, because I'm going to report a violation of Oklahoma law which is a violation of the Oklahoma Open Records Act, as a misdemeanor.
I already contacted your attorney and I told him that we'd be here to get some records. Oklahoma Open Records Act requires you guys to allow us to inspect the records that we're asking for.
Yes, sir.
Are you refusing to allow us to inspect those records?
I am directed by our attorney to turn me towards him.
Okay, so you're refusing then?
I am directed towards our attorney.
Well, so let's go through the list.
Would you like me to get my attorney on the phone for you to talk to him? If not,
No, ma'am. I'm asking you as a public employee.
Yes.
You're the person that takes Open Records Act requests for
I
this?
am the city clerk, correct?
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So I'm asking you as the city clerk. Okay. The City of Oilton oversees the Oilton Police Department. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So you guys would have, as the City of Oilton, you would have a copy of their policy and procedure manual. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'd like to inspect that.
I have been told any and all requests are going through our attorney.
Out of sheer happenstance, that day, Chief Carl Stout was working the Oilton Police Department as the only officer. Chief Carl Stout is the one that responded to City Hall to try to come to some kind of resolution related to this request for records related to Officer Beers.
Okay. So you're refusing for me to be able to inspect that now?
I am.
So let me explain to you the reason why I'm asking. So I just want you to understand. I'm going to call the Oilton Police Department here in just a second.
Okay.
And I'm going to report you for committing a crime. And I want to make sure you understand that violation of the Oklahoma Open Records Act is a misdemeanor. And I'm going to call over there and I'm going to file a complaint that you're violating the law.
Would you like to, actually, I will call the police department down here for you.
That'd be absolutely great.
Perfect.
I need to file a report. So whatever we need to get a report started, I would like to file a report for a misdemeanor violation of the Oklahoma Open Records Act.
Let me stop you right there, okay? So you guys are to know, I was here earlier. They were talking to the city attorney.
I don't really care about that. See,
well,
here's the thing, officer.
No, chief. This is
I'll give you. I can read.
Okay.
You know, you could be an officer.
I am an officer, technically, but I'm a little bit of a grade.
In the middle of the interaction, I noticed that Carl Stout became offended when I called him officer as opposed to chief. So I intentionally did it a couple of more times during the interaction to gauge exactly what kind of person Carl Stout is. And you'll find out.
The Oklahoma Open Records Act requires that certain things be available for public inspection during regular business hours. The Act's very, very clear.
Do you have a copy of that act?
It's Title 51. I can pull it up on my phone if you want. As I'm explaining to this officer.
Chief, thank you.
I mean, you know, Officer Chief. You said yourself you were just an officer.
Sorry, an officer, but I'm chief.
Okay, well, Chief. As I was explaining to the chief, I'm asking for the policy
got up in the titles.
manual.
Now, you guys were with who again?
Myself, I said.
And what's your name?
Ron.
Ron.
I didn't give you my last name.
My name's Ron Durbin.
Ron Durbin.
There you go. She knows my last name.
Okay.
I mean, everybody around here knows me.
Yep.
Look, we tried to get it the old-fashioned just contact you way. I had to come out here because we've run into a bit of a brick wall.
She's going off with the city.
I understand. He's given her very bad advice. And I'm
Okay.
going to send you an email that explains it all, and then you guys can understand. And I'm going to explain to him how he's got it wrong, and hopefully he doesn't.
Now,
Let's see if we can resolve it.
I'll tell you what. You send him that email. Just send him what you want. Okay.
Sure.
Just get me out of it. And then,
Oh, no. I'm going to copy you on it. You're not getting out of that.
No.
You're not getting out of that. You gave me your email address. I'm copying you on it.
That don't matter. You can courtesy copy.
Absolutely.
Send him the list you
I'm
want.
going to.
And then we'll go.
No, I'm going to send him a nice letter about how I think his legal advice was terrible and that he's not competent to practice law and all of those things because he's given her terrible advice and it's not her fault. I'll send you the list. All right.
Thank you, folks.
We'll be back. Thank you.
Have a good day.
I don't know what it was about the interaction, but something told me that there was something going on there. I did not like the way that the police chief answered some of the questions related to retention of records, and it really led me to believe that this was a disorganized, at best, organization. And so it was something I wanted to look into further. And frankly, Chief Carl Stout gave me the heebie-jeebies. And if you've ever had those where the hair stands up on the back of your neck, you know to sort of trust your spidey sense. After meeting Chief Carl Stout, having that interaction, having seen what Officer Beers had done to the veteran, we wanted to look further into the Oilton Police Department in the City of Oilton. And that led us to two main figures, Patrick Kennedy, the mayor, and the chief who we had already met, Carl Stout.
Here's a direct quote from Oilton PD's Facebook page. Here Stout writes, Sergeant Beers was speaking with two subjects at this point while they were sitting inside of their vehicle when the homeowner started obstructing Sergeant Beers' investigation. You'll see in the video that Sergeant Beers asked the homeowner several times to step back from him, as the homeowner was showing aggression and threatened Sergeant Beers with acts of violence. Sergeant Beers asked the homeowner to keep his hands out of his pockets, and the homeowner refused. Sergeant Beers attempted to place the homeowner under arrest for obstruction and treating acts of violence, at which point the homeowner resisted and made additional threats of violence, stating, "You put your hands on, I'm taking your head off." The homeowner was instructed multiple times to turn around and place his hands behind his back, and refused to do so. Finally, Stout states, it is unfortunate that these events had to take place, but it is the opinion of this department that Sergeant Beers acted accordingly based on training and officer safety as a full-time state of Oklahoma CLEAT-certified police officer.
In investigating Chief Carl Stout, we found a trail of victimized women from Georgia to Texas to Oklahoma, as young as 16 years old.
Well, today the former police chief of Oilton was arrested for domestic assault. Carl Stout is accused of hitting his now ex-wife in the face and grabbing his two stepkids by the throat. Police say it happened in November 2019. Stout was placed on administrative leave after his current wife also accused him of domestic abuse. He resigned as police chief earlier this month.
Carl Stout was using his powers as police chief to hurt all these different women, including stalking and sexually assaulting a 16-year-old. Here's a brief summarization of what she wrote in her police report.
Carl drives by my house, comes to my work threatening me, and will not leave me alone. He came to my work screaming at me to find out if I had said anything to anyone. I have sexual assault charges pressed against him. He got me out of a ticket one night and he keeps telling me that I owe him. He stalks me continuously.
I had an anonymous source send me a list of names of women that he's had relationships with. Some of the names on that list are as young as 15 and some of them are 40 plus. But he rates them by if they're single or married, if they had big breasts, and if they were any good or not. And he had tried to make comment and say, oh, that list came out when I kept that list before I was an adult. Well, that's weird because that paper's copyright dated. That says it's from 96, and those that know the man know that in 96 he was definitely in his 20s. I've talked to women that only dealt with him for 3 or 4 years, and they've told me it's going to change their life forever, the things that he's put them through. Showing up on dates, they leave him and go on a date with a new guy, and he shows up and sits 10 feet away and just watches them. That wouldn't make me feel very good. So if they don't terminate him, it's truly my belief that he'll resign, and he'll end up in another small town police department with 1,000 to 5,000 people as their population where they're desperate for help. And he'll continue to do the things that he's done for the last 25 years.
Yeah, how about that? How about old Carl Stout here, the police chief of Oilton? Yeah, he's got quite a checkered past, and you can thank the sergeant for taking down that elderly war veteran, because that's what got the pot stirred. Got looking into things, you know. Ron Durbin, yeah, I mean, he is what he is. I believe his license suspended right now to practice law, but he's got a publishing company called Guerrilla Publishing. They do investigative stuff. I guess you could call him a frauder, although he doesn't have the tactics of the status quo frauder. He's a bit talkative or loud maybe, but he's not. He's pretty much does things, I think, by the book from what I've seen. But thankfully they looked into this and they've peeled another layer back, and they're getting ready to peel back more, and all stemming from that bad judgment call by the Sergeant Beers. So he's the one that started the ball rolling, and here we are. Yeah, what do you think about this POS police chief? Man, just not good at all. But his boss ain't much better. We're going to find out here in a few minutes. Let's get back to it.
During our investigation, by the time we got to this point, we're all asking one question. I know I was. I'll just speak for myself here. I was asking one question. Who hired this guy? Why did they hire him? So I looked at who hired him, which is Mayor Patrick Kennedy of Oilton, Oklahoma. And the first Google search I did on him was that he was convicted for embezzling from the same town that he's currently mayor of.
Investigators at the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation are sure Kennedy embezzled more than $8,000 from the city.
We have ample evidence, more than ample evidence, to arrest him. We did that. He concocted a scheme to hire two people who work for the Oilton Public Works Authority to do some work, give him an invoice at contractor prices. He would have those approved, he would approve them, and have those paid to these two individuals.
Then those two people turned around and cashed the checks and split the money with Kennedy. Now those two are witnesses for the state. They weren't charged after coming forward with their stories. Kennedy is charged with 1 count of embezzlement and 2 counts of receiving a kickback.
The $8,000 is not a large amount, but it doesn't matter the amount because this is taxpayers' dollars. And $8,000 here, $10,000 there, it all adds up. And we need to make a point. You cannot do this.
The mayor of Oilton is running for another term, despite the fact he's currently charged with embezzlement and receiving kickbacks as mayor.
A judge has ordered Patrick Kennedy to stand trial, but he says he's not guilty.
News on 6's Sawyer Bussey went to Oilton to talk with Kennedy.
The Creek County District Attorney's Office tells me that Patrick Kennedy is within his right to run for public office because even though he's been charged with 3 felonies, he has not been convicted of one. Patrick Kennedy has been Oilton's mayor the past 8 years.
I've done a lot of stuff for the town. I'm paving the roads and getting new water lines put in.
Now he's running again, despite facing 3 felony charges.
I do care about this town, and I would never hurt the town. Never.
An affidavit says Kennedy is accused of embezzling more than $1,000 from the city. The affidavit also says Kennedy received almost $3,000 in kickbacks from city contractors. Kennedy says he's innocent and still the best person to serve the people of Oilton.
I did what I was told that I could do by state departments. Just small town politics.
Kenneth Graham says the charges against Kennedy are part of the reason he wants the town's top job.
It's just not right. It wouldn't be right for our town to have an official like that in office.
Graham says there are trust issues between elected officials and Oilton residents, a problem he hopes to do something about if he's elected.
And through the input of people, our wonderful people of this town, we can make this town successful for many generations to come.
The Creek County Election Board tells me the acting mayor, Steve Arnold, is also running for office. Arnold says that the people of Oilton are looking for leadership. In Creek County, Sawyer Bussey, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
Patrick Kennedy received a deferred sentence conviction for embezzling money from Oilton, Oklahoma, where he would meet guys at the cemetery and make money exchanges. After Mayor Patrick Kennedy's deferred sentence, the conviction was expunged, but you would think that the DA would have put a provision in there that said, hey, you can't run for office again. You've been convicted of embezzling from a town. Yes, we're willing to do a deferment, a 3-year deferment, and expunge this, but part of that punishment is you're not going to be able to run for office anymore. And they didn't do that, and then he ran for office, got elected, because apparently there's one thing there's a lot of in Oilton besides corruption, and that's Kennedy's. So during this point where I'm learning about Mayor Patrick Kennedy, I learned that Irvon Stout, the police chief of Oilton, Oklahoma, now has another protective order filed on him. So immediately I requested it from the court clerk's office, got copies of it, and we drove as a team out to Oilton to hand it to a couple of people.
Our investigation into the city of Oilton led us to Police Chief Carl Stout. And our investigation into Police Chief Carl Stout has led us here to the Creek County Sheriff's Department, where we're going to hand them a copy of a protective order that was issued against Chief Carl Stout. We're going to ask them to go serve Chief Carl Stout, take his guns away from him as it orders, and we're going to go out there and serve him as well. So that's what we're here for. Let's go do it. Who's the police chief out there? And we're about to go take him a copy of this. And it says he's not supposed to have guns and things. So I wanted to see if maybe you guys wanted to come serve him and take his guns. He might shoot me when I go show him this stuff. He might not be very happy. I'm going to go out there and take him it. It won't be an official service, but somebody needs to serve him and take his guns from him as the court ordered. So I brought y'all some copies of it. Oh, I'm with my own company. We're investigative journalists. I'm going to go out there and see Carl, and then I'm going to call y'all again on the phone and be like, here, I found the man, come serve him. So just understand, if I get shot, you know, it's gonna be because y'all didn't want to go serve this man, which is y'all's job. So, I mean, if you see me in the hospital next, I don't think that's gonna make y'all look very good, but let them know that y'all wouldn't do your jobs. Thank you for that.
While the lady at the front desk of the police department refused to do anything about the protective order or let Ron talk to a cop. A police officer overheard us and came out saying that he would serve him with the protective order. While we know he didn't give it to him the same day, we do not know whether they followed through with this or not. But later we did see Stout with the protective order in his hand, meaning that maybe the Creek County Sheriff's Department did their job in the situation.
Are you the lady with the water department? Oh, are you the city clerk? Okay, well, I just wanted to bring you a courtesy copy of this. Do y'all have any officers on duty right now? Is Chief Stout on duty? Okay, well, he has a protective order that's been issued against him out of Tulsa, and it orders him not to have a firearm. So I wanted to bring that out here to you guys. That was issued, and I got a copy of it for y'all.
At that point is when I realized that Mayor Patrick Kennedy doesn't give a He drove up and, are you mouthy? Are you mouthy? Are you mouthy? Are you mouthy? Because that's all he's got. And luckily his truck's got those automatic running boards, so when he jumped out, he didn't have too far to fall because he's 5'0". But he just flat out told us, I don't care. He's more worried about you having a bar license suspended for standing up for free speech than what he's doing, taking taxpayer money, refusing to give us records, violating the Open Records Act.
Do I beat women? Do I beat women? Do I beat women? No, I don't beat women. Why did you hire them?
Are you
mouthy? You got convicted of a felony.
Are you mouthy?
You got convicted of a felony.
Are you mouthy?
You got convicted of a felony, sir, for stealing the money from this town.
Did you not?
Why did you steal money? Why did you steal money? Yeah, but bring it corruption. I'm not disbarred. I'm suspended. Did you get me barred? I'm suspended, sir. Understand, for exposing corruption.
Why's that for?
For exposing judges for drinking and driving. Did you read that stuff? Why you were convicted of a felony, sir? Why do you trying to grab me again? Why don't you step out here and try to grab me?
What do you think I'm scared?
If you want to try to grab me again, why don't you get out of here? Why are you acting like a fool?
You're the one who's acting like a fool around here.
You don't want the protective order? Your chief can't have a gun. You hired the guy. You understand you're not going to have a job very soon, right? The AG's investigating you. You realize that, right? All right, have a good day, Mayor. That's Patrick Kennedy, the mayor of Oilton, folks. After the mayor of Oilton, Oklahoma, in a surprise encounter, chased us down and got out of his vehicle to make threats against us, the City of Oilton set a special emergency meeting to discuss a couple of things. One, they were going to discuss the employment of Carl Stout, but also they were going to discuss whether or not they were going to take legal action and sue Guerrilla Publishing. For what? Investigating the news.
I make a motion to follow the fees in the resolution regarding the Open Records Act.
Discuss a possible suspension or termination of police chief Carl Stout, the possible appointment of an interim police chief, claim or action against Ron Durbin, the firm on Greenwood and or Guerrilla Publishing, LLC, regarding their conduct toward the city and its employees. I need a motion to go into executive session.
What the Guerrilla Publishing crew discovered when they arrived at Oilton was horrifying. It was that the City of Oilton, instead of discussing these matters of grave public importance in the light of day, was going to choose to go to executive session and hide their conversations from the public. So during this emergency meeting, despite having the opportunity to axe Carl Stout immediately, a man who they should never have rehired, based on the information we've provided in this documentary, they chose not to and continued to employ this man despite the fact that he has this kind of history. So after they decided to take no action, we, Guerrilla Publishing, decided that we needed to do something to exert more pressure on the city to do the right thing. So we started doing a deep dive and applying as much pressure as we could, seeking records, going through business records, and looking into everything that we could possibly look into. One of the things that we discovered and looked into was the fact that the mayor was driving around a vehicle that still had dealer tags on. And in Oklahoma, there's limited rules on what vehicles can and cannot have dealer tags.
We did a deep dive into that issue, spoke to the used car commission, spoke to the dealer who was providing the dealer tags, and ultimately got those dealer tags taken off of that vehicle. After exerting all of that pressure and doing everything else we could to get the word out that Carl Stout needed to go, the city finally called its regularly scheduled meeting, and on that agenda, they placed the item of Carl Stout for consideration again. If anybody needs copies of all the protective orders or the statement from the girl in Bokeshi, Oklahoma, that was 16 years old when she encountered him, let me know. I got copies of all that stuff for you. Anything y'all need, I got it. If you want anything about his history, I got it all, Carl. If you want to see naked pictures of him, I got those too. I don't want to see those. And we're going outside. You should have an executive session a little different. They should leave for an executive session. That's how that should work. There's an agenda item that says, discussion and action on the POs and claims. Under the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act, a public agenda notice is supposed to give the public reasonable notice of the items to be considered, the action to be taken, and give somebody reasonable notice of what they're talking about. Does anybody know what the action on the POs and claims mean? Because I have no clue what that means. Turns out they're approving purchase orders. Whose purchase orders are they approving? The mayor's purchase orders. And one of them had a question about that. And notice what they did. They approved them, but they approved them for another committee, another board, the Oilton Public Works Authority, to pay while they're in the City of Oilton city meeting. Violation of the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act. This agenda item, violation of the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act, all over the place.
Carl was in our live, I'm pretty positive, under the name Riggs, saying that I'm a sexual assaulter, that I moved to Oklahoma to run from sexual assault allegations.
What? You've been in freaking Oklahoma your entire life.
With the exception of the 5 years I was in the Army. It's funny, nobody believes it. I'm like, I'll tell you my first and last name, most of our viewers know.
Yeah, and you got a DD-14 that'll prove where you were the rest of the time.
Yeah, it's like, try me, dude.
Carl, can I get an interview?
You can talk to my attorney, how's that?
I can talk to your attorney? I can't talk to you. I can't talk to, what's your attorney's name? How are you affording an attorney? Doesn't Rent-A-Center, don't you owe a lot of money to Rent-A-Center? Don't you owe a lot of money to Rent-A-Center? I think you owe a lot of money to Rent-A-Center. I'm standing on a public sidewalk. I can do that, Carl. If you want to arrest me, Carl, for standing on a public sidewalk asking why you don't pay your creditors? Why do you beat women, Carl? I've been wanting to ask you that question again. Why do you beat women? Because I have a judge. You didn't see the judge, the drunk jiving judge? You want to talk about the drunk jiving judge, Carl? Why are you beating women, Carl? Why are you beating women? That's what I want to know. Why do you beat women, Carl? That's all I want to know. You're on a public sidewalk. I can follow you all around the world, Carl. You're on a public sidewalk. No. I can do it, so I'm going to. You know I'm going to.
Dude, back up, now.
You're shaking. You seem a little scared.
I'm not scared.
Are you terrified? I know you don't have any guns right now. You got a protective order issued against you. You can't have any. Did it get dropped? Did it get amended? No, but the order says you can't, buddy, and you know that. Okay, well, that's fine. You go along with that. I'm having a great day, Carl. I'm about to watch you go get fired from in there. So I'm having a fantastic day, Carl. This is the best day in the world. This is the best day in the world. Yeah.
Good job.
I'm glad you're doing your investigation, Carl.
Have a good day.
Good job. You're going to find some awesome stuff. You're going to find I don't back out. Yeah, he doesn't sexually abuse women, though, Carl.
It's hard to read, honestly.
What's that?
That you act the way you do, and
Have a good day.
You know, what about the girl in
Bokeshi?
Bokeshi? What do you think? Do you know that she's still scarred by your sexual assault and molestation of her? She's still. We talked to her.
You're close to slander.
We talked to her. We talked to her.
Good.
You understand that? We talked to her. Do you understand she's still harmed by this? You've hurt her for the rest of her life. You're in a public place, Carl. I can keep following. Don't block me. You don't want to violate my constitutional rights. No, he wasn't. I just wanted to let him know. Carl, you seem a little mad. Do you want to hit me like you beat the women? I'm right here, Carl, if you want to beat me like you beat the women. What I hear, hey, what about the dog? Let me ask you about the dog, Carl.
What about you?
What about the dog, Carl? Did you let a dog lick Did you let a dog lick your
No.
You didn't let a dog lick your Didn't that what your son-in-law said? And one of your ex-wives?
You need to go.
Isn't that what they said? You're fine, dude?
Yep.
I'm not your dude.
You're a dude.
Yeah, you're right, I'm a dude, which is why you won't come beat me. You only beat women, right? That's all you beat is women. I'm not a woman, so you can't beat me.
You're close to it.
Well, great, then I'm right here, Carl. Why don't you come give me what you gave that girl, the 16-year-old in Bokeshi? Why don't you give me your ex-wife down in Georgia? Why don't you give me a little of that? Why don't you show us what you let the dog do?
Show us where you let the dog touch you, Carl. Show us where you let the dog touch you, Carl. No, he beats women. I don't hate that it came to this. I don't care. He deserves every bit that he's given to the women in his life. You've talked to his daughters. We've talked to your stepdaughters. I don't beat my kids. They also don't walk in on me getting my flicked by a dog either. I mean, I would have never thought to do that, Carl. Did you use peanut butter? I hear that's a popular thing. No? No peanut butter involved in the defiling of any animals? And I just want to know why you beat women, Carl. You don't beat women? No? Not anymore? Or you've never beat women? So you've never put your hands on a woman. So all these women who keep saying it are just going to keep lying and lying and lying? I mean, there's a lot of people that have called us, Carl. We'll stay right here, Carl. We'll see you in a minute, Carl. We haven't interviewed any Carl supporters, so we just thought I'd ask Carl supporters.
Well, so there you have it. Little old Oilton, Oklahoma, Creek County. One incident, bad call by an officer, and it just peeled one layer back, then another layer back, and then another layer back, and there may be more layers, who knows. The city council, even though they did the right thing, they didn't exactly conduct themselves. The whole idea that they thought that they could go after. Yeah, I just I almost feel ashamed. Thank goodness I live in what seems to be a pretty good community of law enforcement. I have a lot of law enforcement friends. I have law enforcement neighbors, and have the utmost respect for them. And they used to film a couple cop shows here in Tulsa because they had a pretty good reputation. Anyway, little old Oilton, what a mess. I guess when a cop runs around the country taking police chief jobs in small towns, they ought to be looking at him a lot closer. And they may turn a blind eye too, you never know. All right, so they got an officer, a police chief, and a mayor. And the guy investigating is an attorney on a suspended law practice license. All right, I'm proud of Ram. There's just a few minutes left, a little outro. Hit that like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think, like what I'm doing. If you don't, oh well. Keep doing her anyway. Till next time, I'll be gone.
What y'all's perspective on the situation was, if y'all had one? Is there some redeeming? We've heard he's a charmer. From all the ex-wives, we've heard that he's got some charm. But we've heard from every single woman that he's been in a relationship that we've talked to that he beat them. And then one time that a dog licked his when the son walked in the room. That was a really good one story. That was really a terrible story. I know, it was absolutely inappropriate to read online. Because that's what he said he's done. I'm just asking, y'all seem to know him a little bit.
That's inappropriate.
No? I agree it's inappropriate to do. I absolutely agree with that. Completely inappropriate.
While a vast majority of the people that were in attendance at the regularly scheduled meeting of Oilton City Council to discuss the termination or potential termination of Carl Stout, most of the people there seemed to be directly on our side and wanted Carl Stout to go. That doesn't mean that there weren't a few crazies that came out of the woodwork.
Oh! I got you for assault, man.
I didn't touch you. I didn't hit you.
You hit the camera.
No, I didn't. I pushed you out of my way. Let's get real. Let's don't tell lies.
You admitted it. That's great.
Yeah, I done like that.
Oh, just
poor little thing.
Carl's not here to hit anybody, so let's leave the hands to everybody else, okay? Can we agree on that?
I know you're not talking to me.
Yes, ma'am, I was talking to you.
No. I done like that.
One of the greatest things that came out of that meeting was watching the city council terminate unanimously Carl Stout, which means that this will be reported to CLEAT, which is the Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training. And now Carl Stout's history will finally follow him if he tries to go to
to another department. The icing on the cake of the entire day was the fact that during the meeting, as he's leaving the meeting, Carl can't help but turn to me and flip me the bird, letting me know that we had truly done what we come there to do, make him feel just a little bit like some of the many victims that we've talked to throughout this campaign.
The meeting resumed and the board voted yes to firing Stout with cause, making it hard for him to work at any other police department. Stout did not take the news well.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. This video is 4 months in the making. All of your support is really appreciated. Become a member and help support monthly the efforts that we're going through to bring these kind of hard-hitting exposés to your television screen and to your phone.
Jesse, don't go! Jesse, no!
I'm sorry, Daisy, but I'm a loner, and a loner's gotta be alone.